Alright guys, so Chris the DIY technician here. Today I'm going to be working on my kid's Marshall fire truck. I think the brand is called Trax. It's a 6-volt ride-on toy, but I'm going to convert it to 24 volts, or at least I'm going to attempt to. So I know that in order to upgrade it, it just has the one 6-volt motor. So what I did, I went on Amazon, I bought some of these guys right here as a kit. It comes with two 24-volt motors and some adapters. I'm going to have to customize these a little bit to make them work. Not really that big a deal. My biggest question mark is the other wheel right here. I took this apart before I started making the video, and this doesn't have a motor to it. So the wheel doesn't have like a hub to go into the motor, but it does have a hole for a motor. So I went on Amazon and I bought this, and I believe that these actually came with these, but you can buy these separately if you already have a motor. And I'm going to attempt to put that on the wheel. I'm going to screw it in with some just screws I had laying around. We're going to see if that works. And ideally, this will give that wheel the adapter it needs, and then this just go together like so, and then marry together, and then it should work. So that's what I'm attempting today. What I'm going to use to power it is I bought this. It's for Cobalt. It's from Cobalt rather, or 4 Cobalt batteries. What I'm going to do is use my 24-volt Cobalt batteries. I have a ton of them here, as you can see. I've already done the Power Wheels Doom Buggy. I did 2 of these to, instead of 4 amp hours, it's 8 amp hours. And then also the motorcycles over there I did, it's a 12-volt motorcycle. I upgraded to 24 volts because the 12-volt was kind of slow for my 5 and soon to be 4-year-old. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to wire this in to the truck just for the power source. So I already went and took out the seat. The seat just kind of comes out. I forgot where I placed it, but there's just one little screw, and it comes out, pops off. This was the stock battery. So what I'm going to do, I kind of cut it already, and I'm just going to undo this, and I'm going to wire this in with this, like so. And then once I wire this in, I'll tape it up, and that way now we have the power source. So this shouldn't be that bad. This is going to be the easiest of it. And again, all I did was remove the old battery pack, and I did this a while ago. So if you can see, I cut this to make room for a new battery pack. I just took it's a multi-tool, I believe what it was, and I just cut the plastic out. Didn't really take that long. So it's something I did probably a year or so ago and forgot about it. So that's what I did. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm wiring the battery to that little harness, and I'm going to plug it back in, and then that's that part, which is pretty simple. So I'm going to do this, wire it together, tape them up. You could solder them, and I thought about soldering this, but we're going to see if we can't. Just do it plain old like this. Okay. We got black with black, and red with red, like so. Pretty simple stuff, not a big deal. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's that. I'm going to stick this guy in here, and that should work, like so. Perfect, in there like that. Alright, so here is the stock plug for the single motor, and this guy goes directly to the motor. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this off, and then what I'm going to do is I made this. I just have some speaker wire here. This is, I think it's 12 or 10 gauge speaker wire. This works pretty good. I mean, what I'm doing is I'm going to cut this off, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's positive or negative. I don't think it really matters as long as you have the polarity right at the motors. So that's something we'll test before we actually I'm going to attempt to solder the connections, these little wires that come with the motors. I'm going to test them first and see if they're going the right way. This doesn't have a reverse that I'm aware of. It just goes forward. So as long as we test them at the motor and they both spin the right way whenever you hit the gas pedal, we should be good. So I'm just going to cut this off, wire this in, and run it like that. But so let's do that next. I have my wire strippers here, and I'm probably never going to use this again, but I'm still going to leave a little slack because I'll have plenty of slack with this. So let's do this like this, and we'll save this for later, just in case I ever need it again. And what we'll do, this. And so the idea, again, I braided them together. That way I have two leads for two separate ones, and then it's just going to snake through here. So I'll get that once I have the wheels removed. So now to remove the wheels, I'm just going to use a flathead screwdriver here and get in there. This unclips like so, just really simple. This is a 17 millimeter, so I'm going to do for both, on both sides. Okay. All right. Okay. Wheel, and then here's your stock motor. And we'll try to pull this off. There we go. So what I'm doing now is the wiring harness. There you go. Gives me more room. And I'm going to leave that there. So here's the motor, a 6 volt. So this is the stock connector. And honestly, if you were just doing a 1-for-1, you could just use the stock connector and plug it in, but I'm doing something a little different, so that is not what we're doing here. And honestly speaking, you know, this is already, well, we'll just leave this here for now. So we have our new motors right here. So what I'm going to do is cut the tabs off of these like so. Okay, same thing again, comes off. So there we go, green. I'm going to take this and slide it in, and then what I'm going to try to do is just kind of grab it. And what's cool, you have an access panel here. There's no need to really take the body off the chassis. This seems like extra work for no reason. So I'm going to do the same thing over here for later. And then like so. And then what I'm going to do is just fish both these wires in here. And then worst case scenario, I can trim them up to make it a little bit more neat back here. But for now, I'm just going to use a bunch of slack. So let's go ahead and remove the other wheel while we're at it. So what I'm going to do is hold this with pliers so I can loosen up this nut. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing this shaft, because if I don't, it's just going to spin. So I'll just have to hold it. And so this one had a washer on this side. Oh, and that washer fell out. There we go. Like that. So this one has washers on both. Oh, look at this. It even has a little adapter here. Interesting. All right, well, let's keep that in mind. I've actually never taken off this wheel, so we'll see. So multiple washers, and it has this. So let's see what happens. All right, so this is the wheel, okay? So the idea is, as you can see the difference, you see? So the idea of the adapter is just to mimic that. So we're going to see if that will work out. In a perfect world, it does. You have to make sure we get it nice and center, because the worst thing we want is that to be misaligned. So I guess use a flathead screwdriver or something pretty close, and we'll kind of keep it as centered as possible. So I guess this will be pretty close. I guess we can do a test fit real quick. See if this works. And yeah, it goes through. Alright, cool. So we might not even, I think I'm going to have to get rid of this spacer, honestly. But let's see what happens. Let's see. Because it should just fit in. But we'll see what happens, guys. I might have to use that spacer again. But for now, let's just, I'm going to put it back on. And just see. For now, we'll see what happens. So, cool. So now I already installed the adapter. I'm going to go ahead and wire these guys in. So I'm going to wire this guy up. And then I'm going to, well, maybe I shouldn't solder yet. I have to solder these on, but I have to test the connection. So we're just going to do this like so. Perfect. And my thing with this is, why throw away the truck to get another one when all you really have to do is buy the motors, which are relatively cheap on Amazon. I want to say this motors cost me, I want to say it was like less than 50 bucks for everything. And I'll put the link down. Again, I don't have no affiliation with these people. It's just something I saw online. I said, screw it, let me give it a shot. Worst case scenario, I'm $50, in the hole. But hopefully my kids can get use out of this. So, what did I do here? I did, I don't remember. Blue. Alright, cool. Alright, so now I'm just going to do yellow and blue together, I believe. And again, we'll use some tape. And then we'll do some green and black. Again, I don't really think this part matters. Normally, when you wire things up in an actual vehicle, the colors do matter. With this, I don't think it really does matter too much because of the way the motor is. As long as the polarity is right whenever you hook it up, and if it's wrong, all you have to do is switch the contacts and then it's right again. So not rocket science here, but fun little project. This kind of stuff is real interesting. So let's see what we got here. There we go. Let's tape them up. And again, you guys can choose to solder these. Soldering will be a better fit. That way you never have to worry about this coming apart, but at the same time, I mean, this thing's not going to be too crazy. And whenever I wire these in, I have extra length that just wraps them up even more, and with the tape it'll hold. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. I'm going to come in here and grab the other wiring like so. Okay. And then this will come through like this, and we'll do the same thing with the other side. So I did yellow, blue with that one. Alright, do this again. Okay. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is take this guy and plug it in. This should be on. Battery's full. So what I'm going to do now is kind of just test polarity. I'm going to plug this up, and then I'm going to hit the gas pedal, and if this goes in a, I guess, clockwise position, that means it's going to go forward, which is what I want. Alright, but before I do that, I want to make sure nothing's touching over here, which they're not. Alright. Alright. Let's see what happens. So this is going backwards, so I need to flip them. So green needs to go over this way. Okay, let's see. Perfect. So now this is going this way. So I know that the yellow needs to go where the red dot is here. This is kind of how I remember it. And the green goes with nothing. So for now, I'm just going to kind of like let this chill here. And I'm going to attempt to solder this because you see how loose this is. I could just come in and squish it down with pliers, but I want to make sure this doesn't come undone. Worst case scenario, if you guys chose not to solder this, like I'm going to attempt to. I've never done that before. Worst case scenario, I mean, it doesn't take that long to take the wheels off. So what I'm going to say is, my guess is now the green probably needs to go with the red, and yellow vice versa, but we'll see if I'm wrong or not. See, because it's on the opposite side. Sure enough, I was right. Alright, cool. So yellow on the passenger side here is where the red dot is, and then green is where there is no dot. But on the driver's side, because the motor is actually flipped this way, you need to switch up the leads. So now if I just left it like this and pushed the gas pedal, both motors would move forward. So what I'm going to attempt to do is something I should have done while at the workbench, which I didn't think about, which is to solder them at the workbench without this, which I guess I could do. I'm not going to. I'm going to see if I can just solder this like this without melting anything. So let's give this a shot. So this is the first time I've actually used this style of butane solder. What I normally do is have a torch. So I already have butane in it. I'm going to see. So now I'm going to shove this in there, and then that should be good. So it shouldn't be going anywhere ever. And we're just going to put it in. Alright, so that should be the first one. Done. Okay. And that one's over. So now we're going to do the other side. Okay. And then kind of a moment of truth here. Let's see. Interesting. I'm going to take this spacer out. Okay. And this is the guy here. This is what the big question mark is. Alright, it went in. That's a good sign. Okay. Stick this back on for now, but a little truth on the other side too. I don't think I needed the washer on this side, but alright, good. Ooh, interesting. Huh. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this is going to be really interesting because this doesn't have enough. I guess I can crank on it some. I don't think these washers are necessary. So as long as I get threaded. Oh, okay, this will work. Alright, nice. Alright, cool. Awesome. Alright. So, where is my other socket? My ratchet. There we go. Okay. Alright, cool. So this has. Alright, this one has a little bit more threads to it, but it's pretty close. Alright, moment of truth. Cool. Oh my goodness, my kid is gonna love this shit. My kid is gonna love this. Both my boys are gonna love this. This is awesome. Well, maybe the lights don't work anymore, but this thing is gonna be way quicker. And then this should drop in like this. I might have to do it to the side. We'll see. My seat is right here. Oh my goodness, yep, it'll fit. Gourd, beautiful. Beautiful. Alright. Cool, cool. Alright, so I'm gonna put my caps back on. So again, this is just gonna do this. And they just clip in like so. Perfect. Then come on, get in there, baby. I knew this would be the hardest part of all of it. This is crazy. There it goes. Alright, cool. Alright, so before I finish, with these, I'm going to assume you need to break them in. The motors, that is, the brushes on the motors. So what I'm going to do is just hold down the gas pedal with something heavy. I have some dumbbells. I might have some other stuff around here. I'm just going to push something on there. I'm going to let it run for, I guess, 20 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. And the idea behind this is you kind of break the brushes in. That way the kid stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. It could cause problems with the motors, and they kind of die a little early. So that's the idea. That's the idea anyway. So I'm going to do that. But this is how you do it. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I finally just broke down about the parts and said, screw it, let me see. I haven't found anything like this online. Again, this is a Marshall fire truck from Paw Patrol. I want to say the brand is Trax, but I don't know. But this is what it looks like. It's a 6-volt car, but now it's a 24-volt car. All right? And now my kid, I cannot wait for him to test this out. I'll be honest with you, if I could fit in the little cabin there, I'm pretty sure it would take me around. I'm a big guy. But, all right, guys, I hope you enjoy this. Again, my name is Chris, the DIY Technician. That's another little project that we got complete.